morning, folks. My name is Curtis Chandler. I'm president of PFL. We hope that everyone had a great Easter weekend. We hope that you are enjoying our early morning briefing, and we are up live at 7 a.m. Eastern on Monday. If you are viewing this podcast through our reports and are up at 7 a.m. Eastern on Mondays, please tune in next week live instead. Please like us and follow us on LinkedIn and pass on the good word. We would certainly appreciate it, and you could win a PFL car. I believe that we will be having a drawing later today, and good luck to the lucky winner. Our quote of this week is from Thich Nhat Hanh. Hanh is a Vietnamese monk and peace activist. He is active in the peace movement and deep ecology, promoting nonviolent solutions to conflict. Hanh once said, "Hope is important because it can make the present moment less difficult to bear, if we believe that tomorrow will be better. We can bear the hardship of today." Have you ever asked yourself how many times we say the word hope in one day? It goes without saying, we really like this one, folks, and hope that all have a great week. Whether it is hope or faith, we all need something to look forward to, as that is what keeps us going in life. The number of people seeking unemployment benefits rose higher than expected last week to 719,000 from 684,000 a week prior. The 4-week rolling average, however, fell to its lowest level since March of 2020. Job creation soared to a 7-month high of 916,000 in March, as easing restrictions and broadening vacation availability alleviated barriers to travel, dining, and shopping. The unemployment rate now stands at 6.0%, down a notch from last month. The Dow closed higher on Thursday of last week, up 171.66 points and up 80.33 points week over week. The S&P closed higher on Thursday of last week, up 46.98 points and up 45.33 points week over week. The Nasdaq closed higher on Thursday of last week, led by big gains in Microsoft, up 233.23 points, up 341.39 points week over week. In overnight trading, Dow futures traded higher and are expected to open up this morning 203 points. WTI crude oil for May delivery rose $2.29 to settle at $61.45 a barrel on Thursday of last week, up 48 cents a barrel week over week. Oil rose week over week despite news that OPEC Plus reached an agreement to gradually ease production cuts for May. However, oil has been flat pretty much at the end of each trading week for the past 3 weeks, with extreme volatility in between. U.S. commercial crude inventories decreased to 900,000 barrels week over week and are 6% above the 5-year average for this time of year. Total motor gasoline inventories decreased by 1.7 million barrels week over week and are 4% below the average for this time of year. When it comes to distillate fuel inventories, they increased by 2.5 million barrels week over week and are 4% above the 5-year average for this time of year. Moving on to propylene and propylene inventories, well, they decreased by 2 million barrels a week over week and are 18% below the 5-year average for this time of year. The amount of propane in storage is actually quite worrisome. Strong Asia demand has kept the front month higher, and propane is in backwardation, giving little or no incentive to store for the upcoming winter months or for that matter, crop drying season. U.S. crude imports averaged 6.1 million barrels per day last week, up 500,000 barrels per day, week over week. Over the past 4 weeks, crude oil imports averaged 5.7 million barrels per day, and that is 9.4% than the same 4-week period last year. Oil is lower in overnight trading, and WTI is poised to open at $60.33, down $1.12 per barrel from Friday's close. Total North American rail volumes were up 14.1% year over year in week 12, resulting in year-to-date volumes that are up 4.3% year over year. 6 of 11 of AAR's major traffic categories posted year-over-year increases, with the largest increases coming from intermodal at plus 23.8%, motor vehicle parts up a whopping 134%, and grain up 15.7%. The largest decrease came from metallic ores and metals at minus 5%. North American rig count is up by 1 rig week over week. The U.S. was up by 13 rigs week over week. The U.S. currently has 430 active rigs. Canada's rig count was down by 12 rigs week over week, and Canada's overall rig count is 69 active rigs. Even though Canada's rig count is down week over week due to spring breakup. Some wells can only be drilled on when the land is frozen. Didn't know a lot of you knew that, but Canada's rig count is up 29 rigs year over year, so improvements happening there. And they have 206 active rigs collectively. We're keeping our eye on the war on fossil fuels and renewable markets. It's pretty hard not to these days, folks. Many likely did not even know this, but the city of New York was suing 5 major oil companies: BP, Chevron, Conoco, Phillips, Exxon, Mobil, and Royal Dutch Shell for damages due to global warming. Federal appeals court said on Thursday of last week they rejected New York's efforts to hold the 5 major oil companies liable to help pay for the cost of addressing harm caused by global warming. It rejected the city's efforts to sue under state nuisance law for damages caused by the company's admittedly legal production and sale of fossil fuels. We think we are doing all that we can and all of us are being environmentally conscious. It's getting a little bit out of control. Even if the U.S. was to emit 0 CO2, China emits double what we do. Then there's India, then there's Russia, the list goes on. To be fair, China on a per capita basis emits 1/2 of what the U.S. does. The most recent data that we could find shows that the U.S. is working hard to reduce its CO2 footprint, while other developing countries and China and India are increasing. Not that we're trying to point the finger or assess blame in any way, shape, or form, but this is the reality that we have. The simple fact is the world is growing and developing. Growing populations and expanding economies in the developing world will drive energy demand growth. Do car manufacturers get sued for making automobiles that consume the products that oil companies produce next? Does the Defense Department get sued for buying airplanes and tanks that run on fossil fuels? Question mark. We need to work together for a better solution, and suing, in our mind, does not help. There is a lot of good stuff happening out there to reduce our environmental footprint. at all levels. Innovation is going to be the key to moving forward. For example, ExxonMobil and Porsche are partnering up to test synthetic fuels made from hydrogen and captured CO2. The fuel is expected to reduce greenhouse emissions by up to 85% and can be burned in the cars that we drive today. If successful, that is a game changer for the world. Carbon capture can be done in many ways, and burning more clean natural gas seems to be the way to go. Waste Management already turns a lot of their fleet on clean burning natural gas and has invested heavily in renewable natural gas at their landfills across the country. On the flip side, folks, think of all the energy that goes into making solar panels and winds and turbines. As many know, they don't last forever, and the need to be maintained and recycled at the end of their life and eventually replaced. Not that we're against solar and wind in any way, but there needs to be a balanced approach. Everyone can agree that we do want cleaner air and water. Let's work together, America. If we work together, maybe the world will work with us. Without the rest of the world working with us, we're all doomed anyways if you buy into the theory that we only have 7 years and 96 days left until we are past the tipping point of irreversible change. Folks, a lot of other good stuff in today's weekly report, including weekly rail numbers. ARS is going to be building freight cars yet again, and the Suez Canal fallout. How will this affect shipping rates and rail traffic moving forward? Well, that's all for this week's podcast, folks. We hope that you have a great, safe week, and we will see you next Monday. PFL has been extremely active in storage and all rail-related activities, including leasing, subleasing, etc. Please visit our just posted reports at pflpetroleum.com, and of course, give us a call at any point in time if you want to troubleshoot, go over any matter whatsoever. We're here to help and talk. Our phone number, of course, is 239-390-2885.